Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to, I can't believe I'm about to say this, episode 1500 of Gamertag Radio. And I'm here live. This is Danny Pena, and I'm with Paris Lilly. What's up, Paris?
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Everything's good. Everything's good. And also, the man himself, always on tour, Peter Toledo. What's up, Pete?
I am not the man, dude. I'm just blessed. What's up, man? How you guys doing?
All good.
Good to see you
It's
guys.
all good, man. It's all good. Congrats to all of you, and also Ree. 1,500 episodes, man. Insanity. It is crazy. It is crazy that we still doing this podcasting thing, man. I'm proud that we're doing our thing, man. Very, very cool to see, man. Before we start, let's start with Pete. Pete, you've been here longer than Paris, a little bit longer than Paris. Favorite episode that you recorded out of all the episodes you've been part of? Foreskew. All time.
Yeah.
It has to be. I mean, look, there's so many little moments that it's hard to like pick one. But if there was ever an episode that to this day bro, you could go into the emojis in Twitch chat or in our Discord and they're there, like Foreskew, just that will never die. That will be a conversation starter and stopper within us, between us, just whether it's, just us in the group chat, on Discord, on Twitter. I mean, to this day, people that we know and love, people that we know from afar, people that are just there on the social media timeline. Mm-hmm. That sticks out for me. That's the one that just, one of us can go on a crazy rampage on the soapbox. All somebody has to do is throw Foreskew in it and just either kills the tension or it just brings everything back to reality. That one for me just sits forever.
That's a good one. It's a good one. Paris, what about you? Any favorite episode? Doesn't have to be the same, whatever you feel like is your favorite episode ever recorded so far.
I mean, I have to say, I'm with Pete. It has to be Foreskew. I think I'll break it into two different categories. I think the most fun we've ever had on an episode was Foreskew, because that was it's insanity to this very day. But I would say, I think one of the more important interviews we ever did, or episodes we ever had, was an interview. Believe it or not, I'm not going to say the Phil Spencer one. I think it was back in the Xbox One days when we had Aaron Greenberg and Albert Pinello on. And rest in peace to Albert. Obviously, yes. He unfortunately just passed away. But if you go back and remember that episode, we were talking about things that we didn't like about the Xbox One as far as the UI and all that. And we actually helped make a dashboard change as a result.
Remember.
Because
yep.
Albert specifically was like, I'm going to take that back to the team. And then a few months later, boom, they literally added that into the dashboard. So I like that we had obviously we always have fun, but we had a conversation, with Xbox about things, giving genuine feedback on something, and they took it to heart and they actually made a change on that. So I look at it that way, man. I like that. That's what I've always liked about when we have done this over the years is, of course, we have our episodes where we're just talking crazy and get back and forth and doing all that. But when we need to get serious about something, we can, and we always have. And that's something I've always loved and appreciated.
I'm going to pick episodes that you guys haven't mentioned yet. The funniest has to be when it was our first time front page of Twitch, and we were going to interview interview about was it the first Destiny? Was it Destiny 1?
Destiny 1. It was Destiny 1, yeah.
Destiny 1, and we did that interview.
Oh, Jesus. I think I know what you're going to say.
And Paris was like trying to do a layout, and he said, screw it, let's just do it like this.
We'll go live.
We'll go live. If you go to the archives on Twitch, I think it's still there, like the clips. Bro, that had to be one of the ugliest layouts I've ever seen in my life. We had like 30,000 people. It was like 20,000, something like that. It was a lot of people watching. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Like, it was unorganized, and we're like, screw it. The important thing is about the information. And we did that.
But it shows the growth. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? You got,
of course.
I mean, in today's day you've got all these different, you got templates and you've got Fiverr and you've got people, you can cobble together a decent looking, podcast screen setup or whatever on Twitch or YouTube or wherever you're doing it. But back then there wasn't as much, right? Like we were just struggling. Like it was pure struggle bus for us. So like, and look, we went kicking and screaming into the video space, right? Like we held on to the video. We held on.
Danny went kicking and screaming. Let's be crystal clear on that.
That's true.
What?
That's true.
What do you mean?
We had friends telling us you guys need to get into the video space.
I tell you my reason.
But
I'll tell you my reason though. I'll tell you my reason. I didn't have a computer like you guys. And also at that time I didn't have a setup. Like I couldn't really do it. So I'm like, how the hell am I gonna record with you guys? And it was difficult. I mean, I got better opportunities in the future after that, but at that time,
you've always said it's not about the equipment; it's about the message. The information that you come across.
Pete, but we were doing it for so long that I'm like, I want to get better and better. That's the thing.
You're the same guy that went to an Xbox event with a MacBook and an Xbox Live video camera.
Yeah, the Vision Pro.
So don't talk to me about the setup was wrong.
No, Pete. At that time, because look, here's the thing. At that time, I'm like, we've been around for a while. I want to upgrade. I want to get. I didn't have the money. I didn't it was a lot of things I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it at that time. It was harder. It was hard. But another episode that I really felt like it was important for me personally was the Reggie interview that I did. The first time I had Reggie on. That was a very, very, very important interview for me. And also 1,000 episodes, that was one of the biggest. I think, Paris, you tell me I'm wrong on that. I think that changed everything, that episode. Episode 1,000?
It did. It absolutely did. It definitely did, for sure.
Yeah. That was a very...
Ramifications still being felt to this very day, but yes.
Very true. Very, very true. And my last one that I... Very proud of this one. Sending Pete to the EA Spring Showcase for the first time. Never been to an event, never done an interview. He just went and covered that event. I don't know how much content he recorded. I couldn't remember, but I know it was called Medal of Honor was there. The Simpsons was there.
Bad Company had just been announced. Rock Band, NHL 2007.
Yep.
And I had, to this day, I think my best and favorite conversation about video games with Sean in the lobby for an hour and a half, and my recorder sat on my bed on the 7th floor upstairs. It wasn't recorded.
Yep, I remember that.
That was just. There's so many moments, over. God, holy crap!
Wait, what happened?
Almost 20 years I've been on this thing.
Yes. Wait, you've been doing it for over 20 years.
I think
21.
2007 Studio Showcase. That was my first thing.
So it's next year. Next year is 20
So next year for me, it's 20 years. That's
okay.
Nuts. That's crazy wild.
Paris, we're going to say something?
Excuse me. No, I just thought of something. Technically, I was not a part of Gamertag Radio at this time, but press versus community.
We created some chaos on that one. Because I was like, we got to talk about this. At that time, it was very different. Content creator and media. It was very, very different back in those days.
Well, think about it. It'd be funny to go back and listen to that now, because I guarantee you a lot of stuff that we were talking about now is relevant today, just with the current landscape of gaming, journalism, influencers, streamer, just all the above, right? Because to this day, I don't know what the hell you define us as, because some people get mad and say we're media. Some people say we're not. We're your influencers, your shills, you're all the things under the sun, right? So it's become so jumbled now that I think going back that conversation would be fascinating, because it's just completely changed.
It completely changed. Yeah. Anything else before we go to the main topic? Anything else?
Well, you tell us.
Okay,
man. This is your show.
I'm just asking if there's anything. Whoa! I'm just asking if there's anything else you guys want to bring up before we go to the marathon. No, honestly, man, like I just want to say thanks to everybody that's been listening to the show, and also thanks to P in Paris still doing this with me. You know, Ree also joining us
on the protest
recently too. You know, it's been great recording with you guys, man.
And let's be honest. Let's not forget those that came before us, right? I mean,
100%.
I know we've had our beefs and differences in the past, but hell, the JVBs, Cyber Athlete, Nick, Angel Banjo, feels good. Yeah.
Miss
Anna,
Irie, my brother
Miss
Nano.
Irie. Hell yeah. Nano. Shout out to Nano. Man, there's Garrett Trex, Butters. Okay.
Man, yeah.
Mandy. I mean, we keep glossing over it. Mandy, David.
Mandy,
I mean,
I have a question.
Also. Yeah.
I have a question. Did we ever find Feels Good? Lost in Hollywood. Remember that?
We lost him. We still ain't found him yet, dude.
Wait, P wasn't there. He wasn't there.
P wasn't there. That would have been.
That was
I think that was Santa
06.
Monica E3.
Was it 07?
It was Santa Monica. Yeah, 07. Santa Monica E3. We went to this event down in Hollywood. Because matter of fact, Trixie on the Bull. That was that night, and Feels Good like literally just left. And it was just gone. And we had no idea where he was.
Yeah, we couldn't find him.
He was just lost in Hollywood. I will never forget that. That was hilarious.
He called us the next day. Yo, I don't remember how I got here. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, that was the Bethesda party, actually.
Ah, yeah, you're right. That was Bethesda. Matter of fact, first time I ever saw an iPhone was that night. First time I ever saw one. Yep. That's when the iPhone came out. That was the first time.
Oh, snap. That is.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is how long we've been doing this.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about Marathon. I know there's a demo. I think it ends today or tomorrow, the demo. No, actually, it ends tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver Slam ends tomorrow.
Yeah, Silver Slam. And the official game comes out later that week. This week coming out. And I have thoughts about it, man. You know, I know we talked about it briefly a couple of times here. I played the first demo. Was it last year that came out? Yes, something last year. I didn't like that demo at all. I found it kind of like, meh. I was confused. I was like, I'm really not having fun with this at all. Moved on. This demo comes out, and, you know, I played it. I felt like it was overwhelming, like the menu system and a lot was going on in the UI, right? And I played the game. It was all right. I didn't really get it, you know, but then, because I was playing solo, by the way. But then I started playing with people that actually knows about the game and what to do and how to unlock things and doing like contracts and so on. So I started playing with Khalif. It was Rihanna, and also Ka. And we played a couple hours. I'm like, yo, okay, I'm getting it. You know, still not 100% there, right? Then day 2, I played a solo run. It was okay, again. But then I played with a full team, just friends. I enjoyed it more. And then last night, I also played with Paris and Khalif. And I was like, yo, this is pretty dope. Like, it's not my favorite game of the year or anything like that so far. Like, I think it's cool. Like, it's having good time. I think there's things that Bungie needs to fix. I still feel like the UI is just a lot to me. It's just confusing when you unlock the codex and the factions and contracts and so on. It's just a lot. But, like, just the gameplay, I'm having a good time. Now, last night, I made a mistake of just saying, hey, I really like this game. I love it. It's fun. I posted this on social media, and, yo, now being attacked. I'm like, yo, people can't even say anything positive about the game. Like, yo, first of all, somebody said that I'm getting paid for me saying this because I guess I'm a creator. I guess. I don't know. And here's the thing, man. I don't get paid for me tweeting, I like this game. I don't do that, man. Like, come on. Seriously. And I think it's just too much when people are just liking a game and now people that don't like it now attacks them for saying something positive. Like, yo, is this game is for everyone? No, I don't think so. I think that, you know, there's going to be a very small group of people that are just going to like this game. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to have a good time. Bungie just needs to add more content in there to keep up. And I think it's going to be fine. It's not, you know, the greatest game ever, but I think it's good. I think people are going to have a good time with it. You know what I'm saying? So, and look, I'm not an Arc Raiders guy. This is not my type of game, these type of genre, but I'm having a good time, man. And I think the reason is because I started playing with friends. Solo is not for me. But who would like to go next?
I would. I would, because I
go.
want to elaborate, because I have no idea what Pete thinks, so I think he should go last. So again, full disclosure, I have been a part of the Marathon Creator Program going back to 2023 when I went and saw a very early build at Bungie of Marathon and provided feedback at that time. I had not been very active with the Creator Program until the closed beta came out last year. I definitely voiced my feedback, and during that time, I definitely gave my feedback. I'm like, look, you know, there's not enough going on in the world. Where the hell is proximity chat? This feels very empty to me. There was just overall a lot of issues. Obviously, the stolen art thing came up, all these things. And I'm like, look, y'all got to delay this. This game is not ready. You cannot put this game out in this current state. Please delay it. Please. I'm still questioning charging $40 for it. I don't know if maybe this should be free to play. I don't know. But the point on it is they did delay the game. They did address a lot of the feedback. I was not in any of those closed sessions that they were doing. The after I played it in the closed beta, this is the next time I've been able to play it was this week, right? I definitely, again, have provided some feedback, heard some of the changes and things that Bungie were doing over the past few months. But I think part of the problem was back then, and still, honestly, is Arc Raiders, because Arc Raiders had their beta that came out around the same exact time. It's lunch. Absolutely. I still think Arc Raiders is the better game, to be clear. But the point is, playing it this week, I've seen the changes. Like I can still remember what I played back in 2023 to see what it is now. It has come a very long way since that point. I think the UI is still too busy. I think there is a learning curve to understand navigating through it. There's some things they absolutely need to clean up. They shortened the time to kill. I think they need to tick it up just a notch. Me personally, I think, right? Again, going back to some of the UI things, being able to grab contracts, understanding, like when me, you and Ka were playing last night, understanding we got different contracts and being able to navigate through that to understand, all right, what is the contract we're going to work on right now versus the other two? You figure it out, but it's still a little clumsy to get to stuff like that, right? I think the gunplay is very solid in it. Again, it's Bungie. Of course it's going to be. I have no issues with that at all. I do wish there was more PvP encounters in the game, because I feel like 75 to 80% of the time we're just dealing with PvE, you know, AI characters, right? Versus actual PvP. But man, when we do hit a PvP encounter, it gets intense as hell, because you never know what is going to happen. Like the last one we did, we had tracked a dude that already was killed, and you could see the blood trail going down. We're like, oh man, maybe they're the only group here, so there's only two of them. That's what we kept thinking, right? Because we were doing 3v3. We then tracked to go to this other thing. We see one dude, we tagging them thinking, okay, there's just one more guy. Guess what? It was a whole nother squad. So there was a third dude, the freaking ambush killed all three of us. Damn, we're dead. I love that. I freaking love that. I think that's great. I want more of that type of stuff in there, because it's definitely being an extraction shooter is very risk and reward in that way of, all right, we've done everything we need to do. Let's get the F out. No. Let's go over here and let's do that. And then you lose everything. Cause that definitely happened to me. I was pissed. I was about to throw this whole computer out. I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Right. But I love that. And that's the whole point of it being an extraction shooter, which again, I think part of the criticism is, I don't know what I'm hearing. This is Pete.
It's Pete.
Again. What the hell?
Put it on mute, Pete.
Jesus Christ.
No.
I'm serious. What is that sound? Oh, there you go. Okay. No.
Let me drink the water.
No. I hear this like a fan.
That wasn't me. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that is.
It's coming from your side.
Okay, let me refocus back on what I'm saying.
I can fix editing.
Yeah. So the point I'm making on that, being serious again for a second, is I love the engagement in the encounters. I love the risk reward of it. But I think some of the criticism, this is an extraction shooter. Let's be real, it's a very niche genre. So I think a lot of and I want to dive into some of the criticism. I think a lot of the criticism is coming from people that this game was not designed for. I think if you've been playing Destiny for 10 years and you hop into this ain't Destiny. This ain't Halo, right? It's an extraction shooter. It's more Escape of Tarkov than it is Halo or Destiny, right? So you got to look at it that way. So I applaud Bungie for making a game that's not trying to please everyone, because if they tried to make this the everything game, it absolutely would be DOA. It would go away. They still got a lot of work to do, because what I had tweeted earlier in the day yesterday was, I'm like, look, I like Marathon. I think there's enough good here that they should be given enough time to address the feedback and continue to improve the game over time. That's on Bungie. That is on them to do that, to convince people to give this a try and to jump in and actually want to play it. Like I said, I see enough good here, but I'm not at any point trying to say that there's oh my God, this is the greatest game ever. Like everyone plays. So it goes into your comment, Danny, because I'm the one that was like, hey, I had some fun last night playing with Kai and Danny. Whatever I said, but I know the last thing I said was, it's growing on me. In other words, there's still a lot of work to do. And again, this is just a beta, server slam, stress test. This isn't the actual retail game, which essentially this is, but we know we're going to unlock more maps. There's going to be more things to do. Let's see how that plays out. What I'm saying is, let's see. I mean, do I think this is Concord goes away in 10 days? No, I think because it's Bungie, and I think Bungie and PlayStation have so much invested into this, it will get time. This isn't going to be a high guard thing where they pull the plug. I think they will get an extended period of time to address feedback and to try and get more people to play. But I do want to go back to the bro, I saw Danny's comments. It was a goddamn shit show. It just was, because it's the social media or whatever. You're paid, you're doing this, and God forbid what my comments say. I was like, I'm not even looking at mine because it's probably chaos, right? But it's like, if we do something sponsored, if we do something where we're getting paid, we say so. And you have to. You're contractually obligated to say that. But we're reaching this point where you can't even like anything. You can't even have something where, yeah, you see the flaws in it, but you understand, like, I see the vision, so to speak, right? I'm understanding where they're trying to get to. And you're talking about it, and you're just talking about it in an honest way. We had fun last night. Sorry if that upsets you. I don't know what to tell you. We genuinely had fun last night playing the game, and it was not perfect, but I had fun because I'm playing with two of my friends, and I got it. And even when I was doing solos, I was having fun. That's where my greedy ass was getting mad, because I took out a couple runners. I'm feeling myself, knowing I should abstract, knowing it. Nah, I'm gonna keep doing stuff, dead, lose everything, right? But that's on me. And that's no fault of the game. That's literally how the game is designed. And that's, you need to understand the mechanics and the risk and reward that goes into it. So I think bottom line, all I'm trying to say is look, people think what they want about me. That's fine. But this isn't the Marathon Defense Force. This is, I see what they're doing. There's things about it I like. There's things about it that I don't like that they need to improve. Let's see how it plays out. But this isn't the worst game ever made. Because again, let's bring this back. Danny, you and Ree, I played High Guard. I played with y'all, and I was like, no, I'm out. I was like, this is not for me. And I know you did.
I liked it too. And people say, oh, I got paid for that too. I'm like,
yeah, which is not true. But you like what you like. You don't like what, how am I telling you? You like what you like, and whatever you don't like, right? That's just the reality. And everyone is entitled to that opinion. But I do think social media, and again, the stupid algorithm, amplifies the negativity around anything. Forget Marathon. It's anything. We always see the more negative than we'll ever see the positive or people enjoying. Because here's the funny thing about when someone enjoys something, they don't need to announce to the world that they're enjoying it. They just go play it and enjoy it. But people that don't like something love to let you know how much they don't like it, and will go out of their way to let you know how much they don't like it. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's just kind of where I see Marathon, man. There's good there for sure. There's potential with Marathon. But if it does not succeed, I also understand why it doesn't succeed, because they're walking into very negative press regarding, and earned that closed beta was not ready for prime time. Never should have done it. The stolen art thing will be a halo over this game forever. A scarlet letter, however you want to phrase it, right? So I get it. But it is Bungie, because I'm going to say this one last thing, Pete, and I'm going to let you go. Trust me when I tell you, and I'm not saying Marathon has to succeed. If it's not good enough, it's not good enough. That's not my point. Critique, criticism, all of it's valid. But if Bungie were to go away as a result of this game failing, it's not good. And I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well said. Honestly, there's others in the chat right now that are basically saying the same thing. Your comment about it playing, if it's, it's made by Bungie. And look, I see a lot of Destiny in this. It's kind of hard to split that out from a game that Bungie makes. That's their bread and butter. That's what they do. And if you were good, I know it's not a Destiny. I know it's not Halo. I know that it's an extraction shooter, but it looks and plays a lot like Destiny. But you do have to always remember this is an extraction shooter first and foremost. So you can't go in guns blazing. You have to play low and slow. You have to play like essentially playing Tarkov or even the Division Dark Zone for that matter, right? Because that's essentially what you're playing. I love the fact that it's a PvE and a PvP at the same time. What you were saying about everybody, having random quests, I think it's phenomenal that you have shared quest completion. Right? Mm-hmm. So if I've got to break 20 panes of glass and you and Danny go ahead and you're breaking glass in other parts of the building or the compound, we're all getting credit for it.
That's literally what we did last night. But
yeah,
that's what we did.
It's phenomenal. Yeah. It's things like that a company like Bungie can do because they've known and they've done it in the past. They know that's what works. They know they've gotten the feedback from that same argument on other quest-based games that they've done. But yeah, it's, I think the biggest, and this is a bad thing, that the biggest thing about this server slam is not about how damn well it's actually run. I've had maybe one or two issues overall. The biggest thing has been the vitriol being pushed back by those online and the comments, especially because none of those know what it's like to dev and release a video game, period. Right? Sean Layden said something on a podcast a while back about the difficulty of releasing a hot game that forces people to leave what they're currently invested in. And it's funny because I'm rehashing the conversation in my head and I'm getting goosebumps because it highlights how difficult it is for a company like Bungie who has not just the successes but the pressure of a Halo and Destiny to now drop this on top of the past criticism and the controversy that they had with the artwork stuff, which they've gotten past now, but to now release a game on the back of, I guess you could call it a genre breaking, game like Arc Raiders that everybody has seemed to like have flipped the script and run off to. You've seen Call of Duty and Battlefield 6, which we all thought were, essentially concrete pillars of PvP gaming. Those are games that are now failing, right? You're seeing player drops. You're seeing all of that getting taken over by a game like Arc Raiders, which was, it was a fresh return to an extraction shooter that everybody seems to like. And now all of the attention is going to this controversy of the haters online and whatnot. I think it's ridiculous. We've lost the love of the game, and I hate the fact that I sound like an old crotchety NBA coach here. But yeah, I think Bungie's done a good job. Is there improvements? Yes. What you said, Paris, about the menu, it's sloppy. Yes. Do they have time to fix it? Maybe they can fix it over time, or maybe in the next DLC or the next update release. I think they can. I love the lore, but that's textbook Bungie to its core, right? I don't know if it's worth 40. It could be potentially, but like that Sean Layden comment was, is it going to be enough for people to leave? Like, the main point about the Sean Layden conversation or comment was, do we need another live service game? And that's the scary part, right? Because we've got Arc Raiders, we've got, hell, PUBG still pulls in numbers. We've got Rainbow Six, you've got Apex and all these other live service games. what is this game going to do that is going to pull me away from the game that I spend 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week playing with my friends, that I have whole days dedicated, or whole half days. In the morning, I play with my friends in EU from Sweden and Finland. And on Sunday evenings here, I play with my mates back in the States. What game is coming out right now that it's going to do that? And can or will Marathon be able to pull me away for hours of that? And will it be successful? There's also the question, does it need a campaign? Is it enough to get away with just this PvE, PvP type scenario, or does it really need a campaign? Or do we think that, and again, this is a conversation this is just something for conversation if we don't want to talk about it. Do we think that it needs one, or do we think that it can stand on its own simply as how it plays?
I gave feedback that it did. I'm still not 100% convinced. You can tell the lore and you know, because we're obviously seeing it right now in the server slam, the story that they're trying to tell in this current format. I do question if there was some campaign component to this, would it be more attractive, and that making the $40 price tag more worth it, right? And again, Arc Raiders is $40. There's other games that obviously charge that then kind of have a free-to-play model on the back end to continue to monetize. I mean, I don't know. And that's the whole thing, because everything you're describing, Pete, and what Sean Layden has said is the problem. The 1%ers, and Fortnite obviously is the king of this, they're fine, because it is going to take a lot to get you to stop playing that to then come play something new. You're going to have to really do something very exceptional to get people to break off from that. Arc Raiders obviously is one that did. We're seeing it in real time. They've been able to retain a healthy community of people that now Marathon has to do the job of trying to get people to stop playing Arc Raiders to come play this. That's a lot of work. And that's the reality of this. And not to veer off into other stuff, but this whole problem with this industry right now as a whole, man, it's not sustainable in its current form. This is why you get Concords and High Guards of the world. These big budget, high production things that sound great on paper, but then in execution don't work for various reasons. Yes, Marathon is in danger of having the same exact thing happen, but at least we know Bungie has shown over a decade they know how to do this kind of stuff. But now you're going into a genre that is more niche. Can you repeat that success? And we'll obviously see.
Do you think if this game would have been free instead of $39.99, do you think the game would have been, you think will be more successful or not really?
Well, ask High Guard.
That's different though. High Guard.
How is it different?
Different in a way where PlayStation is really pushing this, investing in more. Like High Guard didn't really.
So it was Tencent until they wasn't. Until they say,
well, no,
we out on this.
Funding, wait, hold on. Funding a game and marketing it, be honest, that's two different things. So, two different things. But I get what you're saying. But anyways, if it was like that, do you think that will convince you, Pete, to start playing the game? That it's free and you will go back and they start adding content and all that stuff, or not really?
It has the potential to pull me aside, and it's early enough that it could. Mm-hmm. But I'm not 1,000% on whether it will. And that is the part, again, that I think is the difficulty that it's going to face. Mm-hmm. And I need friends that are going to be playing it either on my time zone or in a time zone or a day that, like I said earlier, and I know Rihanna's jabbing me in the chat about this. Like, I've got my Sundays, my afternoon, my evenings here when it's 8 o'clock, me and Beaker and Sam and Dev and Bosox, it's locked in stone. My wife knows she doesn't bother me on Sunday evenings. We don't make plans for Sundays because Sunday evening I'm gaming with my mates, right? Uh-huh. The morning thing is just because, I can play in the morning. My wife's still asleep anyways. So I'm playing video games and drinking coffee, but we're on the same time zone.
I think the number one thing, and this goes for you, Pete, me, anybody, that would be playing Marathon. I think the fundamental question that Bungie needs to answer or solve, why am I going to play this? Short-term fun I get. What's the long-term play? Why am I playing this 6, 9, 12, 24 months from now? What is that carrot on the stick that is going to keep me coming back? I mean, are there going to be permanent upgrades, collectibles, loot? You get what I'm saying? Something that I'm permanently chasing that I get to keep no matter what, even if I wind up dying during an extraction, right? That I'm like, I'm chasing that thing. And once I acquire it, that is something that I can show off as a badge of honor that makes me want to keep coming back. Obviously the challenge, the raid type encounters, of course, you want that. And we know Bungie obviously very excels at those kind of complex encounters. So I want to see that as well. So this is the stuff that they got to figure out, that they got to do, that you're not going to get an answer to in the next month or two. And then it comes down to, do they have enough engagement that the project can continue enough to answer those questions? I don't know. And that's what they got to solve. So we'll see, man.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the next couple of months with this game.
Yeah, you're not gonna pull people away by promising them a pink gun, right, Paris?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know what you're talking about.
The cool part is when you do jump into Marathon, you at least collect XP. It's not just you've lost everything. Yeah, you've lost whatever gear you've collected, and yeah, that's the whole concept of the risk reward of an extraction shooter, of getting in and getting somebody's gear, getting that dope, legendary or exotic style weapon, and being able to get out. But yeah, if it's just I got a cool jacket,
not a pink gun,
not a pink gun. That makes it a little more difficult. If there's a team that can figure it out, though, I give it to Bungie. I think Bungie has more than enough talent on their team to be able to figure this out in a way or in a manner that'll make players want to return. Now, are they going to be willing to spend $40 to get that experience? That's a different story altogether. Now, who knows? Maybe this is a 1 to 2 year paid, and then they go to free to play because the game either needs it or they don't have enough free play, or they don't have enough players in general. Yeah, like you said, I would hate to see Bungie fall on the sword for this if it doesn't succeed.
Yeah, because with Destiny 2, it took a long time for them to have it for free, right? Was it how many years? Do you guys know? How many years after that, after the release?
I'm trying to remember exactly. I want to say... Was it Forsaken? I think Forsaken is when they flipped to free to play. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 2 years into Destiny 2. I want to say.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
2019.
There we go. See, I was right. It was 2 years. Yeah.
So my question to you, at that time, not now, at that time, do you think that was a successful move for Bungie? Did it work for them? For them to
Clearly
do that?
It did, because they completed the 10-year run.
Yeah.
So it worked, because you were still paying for the expansions and stuff, and they obviously had the Eververse store, which you talk about a scam. Now that was a freaking scam. Hand to God, never bought one thing out of there, because that was ridiculous. But clearly there were people that were. So they found a model that worked. Look, so much so that they got PlayStation to buy them for $3 billion. So they did something right. But I don't know with Marathon. Again, we'll see.
Now that the game is coming out later this week, what is it that you would like to see from Bungie? Besides the issues that we talked about, content-wise, what is it? When is the right time to show people like, hey, buy the game. This is what we're gonna have in the future. Is it the first year of content? The next couple of months? Like, what is it you would like to see? Answer your own question, tough guy. Always grilling us like you goddamn interviewer. What is this? Hey, I'm the host, biatch. No, honestly, for me, I would like to see if there's any new missions, new story, new factions, and who knows, maybe we'll unlock also new levels, I guess. I don't know, in there, because I'm like further in the game, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I would like to see. I mean, obviously, they need new maps, they need new encounters, they need
quote unquote in-game content for hardcore, very skilled players. See that, and they fought this for 10 years with Destiny. You always got to try to find that balance of making it approachable for casual new players, but then keeping hardcore players engaged and satisfied with very challenging content. So I think that's also part of the challenge as well. It's impossible to answer these things right now. We don't know. We just simply don't know. All have been saying over the past few weeks is let's see how it plays out. Let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, critique what needs to be critiqued and criticism. But if there's good stuff in there that you want to praise, absolutely do that too.
I have a comment here from YouTube. I'm going to show you real quick.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy.
Marvel Rivals is free to play, and that turned out great. First of all, yes, it came out great. That game is not for me, by the way. I tried it, not for me. But I think it's because also the...
No, I just, sorry to completely derail this. Someone is asking me to address the BAFTA situation because I've been critical
I didn't want to. Didn't want to bring that up, but
no. Can I just say this really quick? I said what I said, and let's leave it at that. I said what I said, and as a black person, obviously you see other people had a problem with it too. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, all right. I was not trying to bring it up because that was not.
No, I just saw it, so I was just going to say it. Yeah.
Okay, it's all good. No, but I think also because Marvel Rivals, I personally think just the brand Marvel, all the characters is really well known. That helped also the game, but. Marathon is a whole brand new IP. You knew everything, new characters, a lot of people don't know what it is. Still to this day, So like I'm talking about like the average person, So it's different. You can't really compare. So
I think you're also talking about a completely different genre, right?
Yeah.
Fighting games, you don't see a lot of spend in that for the initial game, right? It's more customary to see I guess it is. It's like Overwatch, though.
It is kind of like Overwatch.
It's basically Overwatch with Marvel characters. So I'll correct my statement on that one. Yeah. But Overwatch is free.
It is, and now they went from Overwatch 2 now to Overwatch.
Yeah, and they just reverted their name back to Overwatch. And think about it. Most shooter games are free to play these days, with the exception of the big title ones, right? PUBG switched over, Destiny switched over to free to play.
You know what I noticed? I think every live service game so far from PlayStation has been $39.99. I haven't seen anything of like free to play.
Helldivers 2?
No, that was $39.99.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, dude.
Oh, I thought you meant like it was free. I'm like, wait, hold on. No.
I know it's rare, so I know
Concord, even though Concord was, failed, it was also $39.99. This was $39.99.
I wouldn't even say it failed. I think it did rather well.
What, Concord?
No, Helldivers 2.
Oh, no, Helldivers I think is the most successful live service game so far from PlayStation. So far. New. Not when they acquire a company, that doesn't count. I'm talking about new games. So anything else before we wrap it up? Because Paris
you mean the show?
Yeah, the show. Yeah, anything else?
No. I definitely want to address something else.
Oh, go ahead.
So, Danny, if you remember, some months back, and this was actually in the after show. This wasn't even on the main show, because Jez Corden had made a comment about he had heard. Wait, what? Do you even know what I'm about to say? You don't even know what I'm about. No. Okay. Anyways, Jez had mentioned, I think this was around November or something, that. Hey, he was hearing rumblings about PlayStation changing their PC strategy, right? See, he thought I was saying something else, and I wasn't. And remember I mentioned in the after show, I was like, oh, yeah, I had heard something similar over the summer, right? And then it was like you were joking around because I was like who I heard it from, and you guessed exactly who I heard it from. And, we just left it at that, right? But, of course, the Clippers, they got clipped and it went around a little bit. And then, obviously, this week, Jason Schreier, it came up again. Pretty much going, hey, it ain't just a rumor. I'm not ready to talk about it because he's obviously putting together some kind of article or whatever for Bloomberg, which is fair. And then we've seen other quote unquote insiders pretty much, corroborated as well, which is all fine. Here's what I'll say. I personally think, and let's just do worst case scenario here on it, because we obviously have no idea exactly what it is. Let's say PlayStation completely abandoned single player games on PC. I think that's a mistake. And the reason I think that is a mistake is I understand they made $2 billion or whatever it was over a 4-year period, which was only a few percentage points of their overall revenue. Understand that, because we just talked about this. I get it. You're assuming that you're not making enough revenue off of PC players. So why are we even investing the time and the money to port these games over there, right? My thing is, and Sean Layden, you can go back to what Sean Layden said about this Sean Layden keep coming to everything with PlayStation, but he said this some years back. The reason they were putting things on PC is essentially to try and attract someone who isn't on PlayStation to introduce them to PlayStation games. And maybe eventually they might go buy a PlayStation, because obviously PlayStation still values selling their hardware. All valid. Totally get that. That is not the case. And I think what we're learning is people that are on PC are staying on PC. They're not going to buy hardware. Now, I think we're kind of unique, but we're a smaller percentage of, I got a PC, I got an Xbox, I got a PlayStation Switch. A lot of people only just get one device, and that's where they play their games. Now, this is just me. People can criticize me and whatever, that's fine. I think it's a mistake, because if that was the case, why are you continuing to put live service games on PC? So it's not about, we got 90 million plus PlayStation 5s, and that's a big enough audience to sustain our games or whatever. Clearly, you need PC. And look, even in the case of Helldivers 2, Xbox to sustain your live service games. So in other words, you don't have enough people engaging with these games. I would argue, keep the single player games on PC, because again, you're continuing to attract people to your most valuable IPs. I understand they're not going to do day and date, because that was a conversation I had. They're like, they're never doing day and date. They'll get rid of the whole thing before they do day and date. But exposing someone to Ghost of Tsushima and then playing that game, damn, this is amazing. Yote just came out on PlayStation. Oh, wow. It may come to PC. I'll play it if it comes to PC. But if it doesn't, I am not going to go spend another $600, $700, $800 on a PlayStation just to go play Ghost of Yote. But that's a potential customer that if you bring it out 6, 9, a year later on PC, they'll go pick it up and go play it. We obviously just saw this phenomenon with Xbox. There were a ton of people that was not going to go buy an Xbox, but the minute Forza Horizon 5 showed up on PlayStation, doing record numbers. I will die on this hill. Because I want to be crystal clear on this. I am not a fan of exclusives. I never have been, but I understand why they've existed. And in previous years, it obviously made sense and it worked. This industry is on freaking fire. We all see it. Phil Spencer has said it multiple times. You've seen Sean Layden talk about it. And just recently, Herman Holtz himself said it in an internal email. And other industry leaders around have talked about the struggles we're seeing in this industry. PlayStation, and not trying to purposely pick on PlayStation, but they're the topic. They just closed Blue Point. Everybody was pissed off about that. We're just talking about Bungie, that if Marathon isn't a success, what the hell is going to happen to them, right? Obviously, we've seen all the studios that Microsoft has closed over the past couple of years. High Guard, 2 weeks and boop, gone, right? You get my point. So why are we not putting games in as front of as many people as we possibly can to try and get some sustainability a word? I guess it is sustainability in this industry, because right now we know there isn't, and the leaders in the space are telling us it isn't. So, okay, fine. PlayStation doesn't put Wolverine and Soros and some of these Intergalactic on PC. Okay, that's their choice. They're the IP owner. They can do whatever the hell they want. I don't have an issue with an IP owner deciding what they want to do with their property. That isn't my issue. My issue is, I hope that works, because if it doesn't, you're just putting more and more games that we love to play in studios and people that work there in danger of losing jobs, of the studios closing, of us not getting new IPs, all these things. I would rather just again, it's player choice, it's customer choice. Put a game let me decide if I want to play on PlayStation. But if I don't and I can play it on PC, let me go do that if I want to. Because again, you do it with live service. You ain't telling anybody with a live service game they got to go to PlayStation to play your live service game. You're telling them, we understand we need to get as many people as we possibly can to play our live service game. So we're going to put it on PC and other platforms. I just think doing that with single player is a mistake because you've opened Pandora's box. You already did it. And I get diminishing returns. It's not been as popular as from when you first started it to where it is now. Now, here's a very controversial take, I will say. Why? Why is that the case? Is it the ports haven't lived up to expectations? Is the quality of the game not lived up to expectations coming over there? Why are PC players not wanting to play single player PlayStation games? My theory is it's because you're waiting 12, 18, 24 months later to actually put the game out on PC. And there's so many other games out there that people want to play. Been there, done that. I'm not going to go back. If you get my point, right? Especially when you're essentially charging me full price for an 18 to 24 month old game. I'm going to go play the new shiny. Just me. I'm just saying. I bet you if PlayStation games came out day and date on PC, they'd still be putting games on PC because the sales would reflect it. Look at Resident Evil Requiem right now. Record numbers on Steam right now. Single player game.
Because of the hype.
The hype. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm saying. And I already know there will be people that disagree with me. There's going to be people that are yelling at me, that are upset at me. This is my personal opinion of I would rather see player choice. Play where the hell you want. And this ain't no stupid console war thing. This ain't no, it's a PlayStation. Oh, you're an Xbox guy. And Phil Spencer told you to say this. Phil Spencer didn't tell me nothing. He retired. He gone. This is my opinion. Okay, what I think, I just think for the health of this industry, you should make your game available to as many people as you possibly can. It is as simple as that. So if PlayStation really, and I don't think they're doing this, by the way, I think they're going to slow down. There's going to be a slower cadence, but I don't think they're completely abandoning PC, just for the record. But worst case scenario, let's just say they did. I personally think that's a mistake because now you need to make sure that those single player games are getting very high attach rates on just your one platform. And at I'm forgetting his name now, but a dev that used to work at Naughty Dog said it best. And I'm being bad on math. It was something about when it used to cost 20 million to make a game and you got 5 million in sales, huge revenue on it, right? But now when it's costing 200 million to make the same game and you're only getting 5 million in sales, now it's in danger and it's in trouble and the studio shuts down. Mm-hmm. That's the reality that we're in. Again, all I'm saying is if we're going to keep doing the current model, it makes sense to have games everywhere. So unless development cost comes down, exactly, something has to change. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know, I'm filibustering here and monologuing, but that's just my thought on the whole thing, right? That's what I personally see. Like, we're fortunate enough. I play on PlayStation all the time. I play on Xbox all the time, the PC, because I get to decide where the hell I want to play a game. Not everybody has that choice, I guess is the point I'm making. So bring the games to where the people are versus telling the people to come to you when maybe they can't afford to come to you anymore. That's all I'm saying.
And look,
go ahead.
I've been saying it for years, or trying to explain it for years as to why we continue to see prices increase for games. You can't continue to expect games to be $50-$60 if the budgets for those said games have jumped exponentially in the last 10 or 20 years. Made sense. Exactly to your analogy, Paris. Back when Xbox 360 came out and games were $60, but the budgets were 50 million or 20 or less, like 10, $20 million. Now we're looking at games where budgets are 100, 150, 200, 350, 400 million, but you still expect to have the same quality if the game is $60. They're going to have to cut corners. And that's why we see things like microtransactions, et cetera, and DLC content. They have to supplement the cost. Nobody takes into consideration the servers, the security parameters necessary. Well, we're talking about Sony, though. We know there's no security there, but, every live service costs money to operate on a day-to-day basis. Not to mention the people that sit behind those devices, those servers, the data farms, etc. You've got to keep them, you got to keep them paid. That's why prices keep going up. Yeah, I'll get off the soapbox on this one because I've talked about it in the past.
Well, let me say this real quick before you go, Danny. Part of the fundamental problem of this whole conversation is it's social media noise for the most part. That's where you get people. Again, why do you care where someone decides to play their game? I want to hear that argument because no one can ever give me a real true answer on that other than console wars. You want, because I invested in PlayStation. Everybody should invest in PlayStation. And I'm talking the box itself. It's 2026. Why? Who cares? Who really cares? And let me say this one other thing about PC gaming. Danny, I'm sorry. I jumping in.
It's all good.
PC gaming, depending on the rig that you decide to build, is the best experience you can potentially have with a game. Look, we just did a sponsor set with NVIDIA because I'm telling you right now, Resident Evil Requiem, and I get the PS5 Pro is great with it. I'm not saying that it ain't as good as playing it on the PC. I tell you that with some path tracing and all that stuff. But that's the point I'm trying to make. You're not allowing someone that has the means or the capability to fully experience the best image quality and fidelity that a game could have because you're saying, well, you have to only play it on this box. It's 2026. Why are we still doing that? That's all I'm saying. And before you come in with the Nintendo stuff, let me say this. Number one, development costs for them are significantly lower than we see with other big AAA games. Their hardware is cheaper because they have lower powered hardware and they have an unprecedented attach rate to their games. Nobody else has that attach. Xbox doesn't, PlayStation doesn't, compared to what Nintendo does, right? Combined. Combined. So that's why Nintendo is able to do what they do. And let's not forget, we're just 2 generations removed from the Wii U, where they had exclusives and they had cheap hardware and it didn't work. So that is not a guarantee for success either. Because let's not forget, a lot of those Wii U games that nobody was playing on the Wii U, they ported them over to Switch and all of a sudden people are magically playing them.
Yep. And they sold a lot of copies.
Yeah.
And speaking on the Switch, and shout out to Jeff Grubb, he talked about this recently on the podcast. I heard recently that Gran Turismo was running on the Switch 2. I don't think it's going to come to the Switch 2, but I heard it was running on it. My guess, I think this is the test, like, hey, just in case the higher-ups at PlayStation decides, like, hey, let's release this on the Switch 2. This is a test to see if it's possible to run a game like that on the Switch 2. And like you said, Paris, if this game comes out, let's say Gran Turismo comes out on the Switch 2, I think it will be a huge success because people from that audience, from the Switch 2 owner, Switch 2 side, they would love to have games like this, games like Returnal or Wolverine, or let's say from the Xbox side, what is Halo and so on. Imagine all those games, Gears of War, coming on the Switch 2, it will be a huge success. They would love to have that instead of those owners buying a PlayStation or an Xbox or even a PC. Look at Resident Evil 9, the Resident Evil Requiem. Huge success. It's been a successful game too. It's selling like crazy on the Switch 2 side. And it's not even compared to like the PC and PlayStation, it's not graphically, it's not up there, but it looks pretty good and it's still selling, so do you think PlayStation will experiment and maybe release something besides the Horizon Lego game that came out a couple years back? Do you think we're going to see something like that on the Switch 2?
I think so, but I think it'll be smaller experiences. I don't think that they would do anything big like a Gran Turismo 7. I think it was just a thought experiment to see if it could actually happen and run and, what does performance and all that look like? Does it live up to the quote unquote quality and expectations that they would want for a game like that to be on something like the Switch 2. I mean, we're seeing already with Cyberpunk and now Resident Evil, Switch 2, as developers get more and more time with it and understand how it works, they're able, to pull off some pretty phenomenal stuff with it. So I wouldn't rule out anything, as far as that goes, but I can't imagine Horizon Zero Dawn or something like that, being on Switch 2, but we'll see.
Look at Final Fantasy, look at all these games that's been coming out recently, and now Pragmata is coming out soon too. Like, I think there's an opportunity for PlayStation and Xbox to sell their games there, man. That's us. We'll see. But one last question. This is more for Pete. Look, Pete is a perfect example. He doesn't have a PlayStation 5 unless he bought one recently. I don't know. He plays games on PC. And I remember having a conversation with him saying, I'm going to wait for a certain game to come on PC, and I'm going to buy the game on the PC version. Wolverine, right? Well, Wolverine, you're going to wait an extra year, I guess, or whenever they plan to.
I've lived this long without a PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me what PlayStation games that you purchased that you have on your PC. Was it Spider-Man?
I have it on my Switch. I have it on my Game Gear or my
Game Gear.
My stream. I know my freaking the handheld, the Steam Deck.
Oh, Steam Deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
all the Spider-Man. I have all the Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, it's PC. Yeah,
it's PC. Yeah. You bought it for PC. Yeah. But see, you're not gonna be like, oh man, I'm gonna buy a PlayStation 5 because I play this game on PC. I don't see that happen. Same thing with Xbox. Like, people are not gonna go and buy an Xbox because they play those games on PC. They're just gonna stick with PC, and that's it. That's it. And you're right, Paris. You're 100% right. I think to convince people to buy a new console nowadays, especially now that it's $700, might as well just invest that on upgrading. Yeah.
And that's the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
Again, you were better off buying a PlayStation or an Xbox in 2020 than you are in 2026, which is insane.
Yep. And people need to open their minds. Like, look, not everybody's going to go out there and buy a brand new console, man. If they have one console, they're going to stick with that console. If they have only PC, they're going to stick with that. That's it. It's not like back then, the majority of people buying like multiple stuff. That's not going to happen, man. It's too expensive nowadays, man. Way too expensive.
And you have to bring this part into it too. And obviously your daughter is too young, Danny, but Pete can obviously relate to this. People with kids that are of age that right now that can game and play, they don't care about any of this stuff. They want convenience. They want everything to run. I guess I can show it. They want everything to run on this. That's what they want. I just want to be able to pick it up on my phone and just play it there or whatever is in front of them. They don't want to be forced to go to one thing because guess what? If you tell them I have to go here, they're going to zag and go, well, I'm not. I'll just stay on TikTok and just scroll that. That's just the truth. And people can fuss and argue about all that stuff, but we've talked about it before. The real challenge right now is time. It is the number one commodity. There's only so much time. And there are so many other things that are distracting people to engage with that you got to do something phenomenal to get someone to not only spend the money to come to your device, but then to actually engage with it for a significant amount of time. So you're better off bringing the shiny to where someone is already looking at.
Nah, man.
And that's the challenge this industry has right now of trying to figure that out. Let me say this too.
He is gone.
People get so freaking mad at me
so he took him
online because and
so anyway,
this is the fault of who I am. I can't help it. I always just try to look at things logically. I try to rationalize stuff. I try to understand
Can't be having all this mobile content stuff. No,
why I work in cybersecurity because that's literally all I do every day. And I think that gets me in trouble because I take the fandom out of it, and I just like, they're going to do this because they got to make more money, or they're going to do this because X, Y, and Z. And then people take that and throw it back into fandom and don't just understand that. Like, again, with exclusivity thing, because I always get so much heat for that. I don't personally like it, but I understand why
talk about Marathon.
I understood why Xbox had acquired Bethesda, right? I understand. Grow, you have content. It's like you try to understand these things.
We said Sean Layton's name way too many times.
See just the cold, logical Mr. Spock.
I don't know what happened, bro.
Right? and
This
you
has
try to
never
talk
happened.
about it in that way. And again, it's still
Not
an
like
opinion.
this.
You're not going to always be right. You can
For
be
sure,
wrong,
still
of course.
talking.
But
Yeah,
that's
is
how I look at
Paris
this
still
stuff
talking?
right
I
now.
don't know.
I'm just looking at an industry
I don't know.
that is not sustainable.
It's not sustainable.
What can you do to
I'll
fix
edit
that?
this part out, but
The
yo,
number
what
one
the heck
thing
happened?
is
Let me see if there's
access.
any updates.
Give people more
Nothing
access
nothing
points
yet.
to your
Nothing from
content.
Paris.
If you limit the amount of access points to your content and then it is being charged at a very high rate now with consoles because they're not cheap. It's not a cheap barrier to entry anymore.
I mean, this has been a
You're
great
limiting
conversation,
your
guys.
reach. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up in a few minutes, but thanks everyone for watching or listening to our 1500th episode of Gamertag Radio. Yeah, still going strong, still going at it. Here, hey, what is your next game? Do you feel like you're gonna be buying here? What's next? Okay, you know what? What's next? What's the next game you feel like? Okay, I'm gonna get that.
Wait, did you talk about?
He's back. He's
Yo,
back.
So I heard the PlayStation gods came. They were like, nah, man.
Yeah, they're like, nah, I don't even know where it was. All I heard there was a doo-doo. And I was like, someone said in the chat, I'm talking to the wall. I was like, wait, what?
Yo, but you good? You good?
I'm not repeating that. So if it
No,
was
you're not
missed,
repeating.
oh well. Yeah,
It's all good. It's all good. But you want to end it or you're good?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't even know where it cut off at.
Whatever.
Whatever.
All right. No, I was gonna ask Pete. Pete, what is your next game? Do you feel like he's looking at the list right now?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I'm very, and look, I publicly mentioned this. I went to play Crimson Desert last week. I'll talk about it more in the future when the time is right. But that's something I would love to play and learn more about. That's my next one for this month, right? Wait, is it for me? Yeah, for March. Is there anything big in March besides that game? I'm trying to remember.
Replaced?
I thought didn't it got delayed to now? Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to play that game. I played it 2 years ago at Summer Game Fest.
And Planet of Lana 2.
Is that as crazy as like last month? But it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Yeah. When is Forza? Forza Horizon is April, right?
That's May. Soros
May.
is in April.
Oof,
and
that's
then,
my game. That's my game.
Yeah, and then Forza Horizon 6 is in May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I made a mistake with Returnal. I waited for the PC version. I'm not waiting for Soros. I'm going to play on console right away, as soon as possible. I'm not waiting. I'm not going to wait.
Hey,
Maybe 007.
Sean Layden's plan worked then. That's what he wants. He don't want you to wait.
But here's the
He was
difference.
like-
I already have a PlayStation 5. I already now, if I didn't, I don't see myself buying a PlayStation 5. At this price, no. I wouldn't. Or an Xbox. I'd rather just wait until it comes out. Now, if it's D&D, like you said, Paris, I will buy it. I will buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening to our 1500 episode. Thanks to P and Paris for still recording and still supporting my foreskew theory. Thank you so much, guys. It's been great. Thank you so much. And we'll be back here next time on GTR. Peace.